Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Dan Pixel. I am a Let's Play streamer. I guess I'm starting to create Overwatch content. That might be a thing that I do. I don't know. But I also sometimes cast for T3. Anyway, this is the London Spitfire versus Boston Uprising, and I'm not going to do a full breakdown of the entire series. I think the simple way to define this entire series was Boston bad at control. They don't really have rush maps, but like they are very, 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 very good at dive, particularly Decay, Birdring, and Smurf. Decay and Striker are also, I do this in another video, but they're also very, very good at timing together with Smurf and with each other. But this particular last fight was something else, and as clutch as people recognize it was, like Lee Jae Gon literally basically 1v5ing, well 2v5ing really, this was so much more insane than you think. There were so many clutch things that happened in this last fight, and I just want to call attention to all of them. We're starting the video here. It's in like 0.25, just so we can like kind of get a feel for it. But I want to point this one out specifically because first off, I just want to point out where Izayaki is at the top of this fight. I want to point this out. We'll come back to this later. Okay, so let's go ahead and move ahead to the OT fight itself. If you weren't watching this live, this was obviously match point for Boston. They're coming into this fight. They have two ultimates, Rush and Death Blossom online for Spitfire. I guess Sparker held onto this forever. I didn't really notice. They didn't really need it that much. And he almost gets really great usage out of it at this point. But we'll talk about that in a second. So here we have this. Birdring's about to go and attempt to get a hack, and he's going to get forced out. But their win condition, London, is this Rush. They have such a good series of ultimates. Rush with the Reaper will burn Smurf even when he is in Primal. And they know he's got it. So here they go. They start to like posture up. It goes to Landon's POV. This is where they forced Birdring out. And right now it's 4v5 because Birdring's has to back off to get health. Backbone's hack Decay. They feel pretty strongly about this, although Backbone took a bunch of damage for that. Okay, here we go. In this next moment, what Landon does is pixel perfect. Watch this. In comes Smurf. You'll see in a second. On the left side of Landon's screen, he's going to start taking pressure from Smurf. There it is. Smurf has gotten behind him. He was up in the high window, and he circled around. Boston called this play. Like, this is a set call from Boston. This isn't just like Smurf recognizing something. This is all of them, because watch what happens. Smurf's pushing from Landon's left. They know the rush is the problem. Decay is about to blink in to finish the job. Smurf and Decay are so on point. Landon feels the pressure, knows that Admiral can't keep him up forever, smells the dive coming, and casts Rush. I want to point out right now that you can't see Izayaki. We know where he is, right? Like, if you see my mouse on screen, he's like kind of over here-ish, above this trolley, or not trolley. I guess it's a food stop. I don't actually know what this thing is. But you remember where he was at the beginning of the video. He's kind of back there, but he has no line of sight on Landon. Just keep that in mind. In comes Decay. In comes Smurf. They are going to destroy this fucking Kiriko, right? Casts. And as soon as the cast animation is done, did you guys see that? I'll wind it back just a moment. Too far. In that exact moment of the cast, as soon as the animation was done, he went immediately right back to the throw. Right? He goes right immediately into the kunai. At the same time, Decay blinks in to deliver the clip melee. Here's the cast. Right there. As Decay blinks in, as his cooldown ended, boom. By the way, I don't know if you noticed this. Do you see this purple on the ground here? Izayaki lobbed a f***ing nade from Narnia that also landed exactly where Landon was. Oh. Lost a little interconnection there. But right there. That splash gets him. And as it's doing damage, he cleanses it. Do you see this? He's all in this span of a fraction of a second, a literal fucking frame, Landon, on instinct, takes out Decay with the picture-perfect headshot as he blinks in to deliver the one clip. As the nade hits, as you can see on screen, he's throwing the fucking bell and cleansing it. And now, in this moment, in this absolute clutch as fuck moment from Landon, he's got to be thinking, we won. Right? He's screaming. He's screaming right now. Because Smurf knows he's f***ed. Because the rush is down and Sparker's right behind him. So he's about to take a shit ton of pressure. Backbone had to get forced out, but Backbone's now in a great position. And all of London recognize it too from this call from Landon. Landon's like, we're in. Hottie jumps back. Their goal is to burn Smurf, right? Birdring's trying to do what he can, but I think he gets forced out again here. Like maybe it's like a lucky tap or something. Landon's lucky to be alive here. Swift steps back into the action, right? Because they can't get off the cart. He's the least useful in taking down Smurf, but Sparker is. Smurf has jumped to safety, so he thinks. But Landon here, or sorry, not Landon, Sparker here is still on Giga speed, and Smurf just gets annihilated here. Like, utterly dominated. At this point, we are in overtime. It is 5v3 with a Death Blossom on the board. This is done, right? This is fucking over. There is no chance that Boston win this, right? Right? What happened? What happened next? Well, Birdring is like right here. They decloak Birdring. That's bad. Birdring was the only one to touch. He takes a bunch of damage. Birdring could have died here and it wouldn't have changed the result. That's what's so fucked up about this. Birdring could have died here. He doesn't. He gets out. But he could have fucking died and London still would have lost. Even if they got that kill. Because what happens next? Here we have Izayaki here. Lee Jae-gon here. Lee Jae-gon at 88% to the rally. Lee Jae-gon goes in. 5 versus 1. Lee Jae-gon blocks the hack. Well, does he get hacked? I want to see this again. Because Backbone had the right idea here. I don't know if he actually gets the hack off. I'm looking for the animation. I can't tell with everything on there, but they all fucking collapse on him. So Izayaki's like, F this shit, Nano. He's procced Inspire, which is good. I can't see. He's behind the bus. It's like you figure this is just where he dies. He might not be hacked. He is nanoed and he is inspired. So he is like taking so much damage, but healing it at the same time. Okay, there's the second hack. So I guess he didn't get the hack off before. It must have broken line of sight. Otherwise, he would have lost the cooldown. Because you can see, if you can see this right here, this is a long range fucking hack from Backbone. This time the hack goes through. Still nanoed though. It's also just too early. Izayaki is over here. Hits the sleep on Hottie. I don't know if Hottie... I want to look at this. I want to see if Hottie turned to look at Izayaki. Oh, that's still not far enough back. Hottie gets whip shot into the sleep dart. I didn't see that the first time I watched this. Lee Jae-gon whip shots him directly into the sleep dart. That could have been a bad moment of anti-synergy if Lee Jae-gon and Izayaki did not know each other so fucking well. Because how many years have they been together now? 3? On a championship roster? One of the most dominant rosters in 2020. One of the most dominant rosters in 2021. Pretty middle to great roster in 2022. They won a stage. They weren't like they weren't like the roster, but they were still fucking incredible. And now they're here. If they didn't have this kind of like well-known synergy, this could have been like a bad moment. But he just whip shots directly into the sleep dart. Hottie's out of the fight. All right. In this time, Izayaki Look at how little health Lee Jae-gon had at this moment. Look at how close he was. That is 120 HP. Some of it is armor. But he procs. He gets enough. He's hit the rally. 4v5. Backbone, by the way, if you can't see him, is in the bottom right over here. He's down over inside this building, so he's pretty safe. I think he gets another hack off in a second. First things first, though. Big shield up. Instant burst in HP. Izayaki, as you can see, pocketing. Admiral moves in. Takes the bash. Oh, that's so unlucky. So Landon, again, trying to be the goddamn hero here. Suzu's it. Admiral doesn't get the benefit because he's coming from above, so he's about to get stunned. Bam. Izayaki correctly identifies that he is the one who is in the most trouble and hits him with the combo. Bash, slash, whip shot. Dead. Because the nano is still online. It's fading, but it's still online. At this point, Hadi's 3.5 seconds have worn off. But look who's back. Look who just bought enough time for Decay to come back in the fray. Sparker recognizes the danger and hits Q. Now, it is important to know, if you don't already know, Brig used to have the stun on Bash. They only have that now during rally, but the cooldown remains the same, so it's 4 seconds. Doesn't have the Bash right now. Sparker knows he's safe to Blossom here. That's what he was waiting for. So he Blossoms. Lee Jae-gon kites it with his shield. This is still pretty bad for Lee Jae-gon. And watch what Backbone does now. Backbone, seeing him turtling, he keeps weaving in these shots, goes for the hack. But as he goes for the hack, did you guys just see what happened here? Izayaki hits another massive bio-nade. This means that Sparker doesn't get the health regeneration from the Blossom doing damage, the Reaper's passive. And so the fact that Decay is now back in, with Lee Jae-gon, who is rallying, is hacked, by the way. Got hacked out of his shield. Can't bash to stop it. Really heads up from Backbone. Again, Backbone had a bad weekend on Sombra, but is like really aware of a lot of the really smart player, had a bad weekend. Hadi is back in, but he also ate some of that nade, right? But Sparker's in trouble, and Decay goes in, hits the blink melee perfectly. Sparker shut down. It's now 3v3. Hadi is naded, but 80% to primal. And at this exact moment, Landon is hacked. Why? Because Birdring finally came back in. Now, this is maybe a minor moment. I said earlier Birdring could have died, and it wouldn't have changed anything. Landon didn't have Suzu. He wasn't going to get it back anytime soon, because he used it as soon as Lee Jae-gon rallied, right? He dodged the bash that killed Admiral. But Birdring might not know that. I'm sure they calmed it to him, but you can't. You gotta be sure. So Landon gets hacked. There's no Suzu for Hadi, no cleanse. Even though he's in his bubble, Decay hits the fat pulse bomb that he was denied before, and he goes down as Lee Jae-gon also continues to wail and beat the out of him. Meanwhile, over here, Birdring is back, following up the manual hack with an EMP that also catches Backbone, who stuck his head out for just a millisecond. But at this point, it's over. It is now 4v2. And the Boston Uprising clutched an incredibly unwinnable fight off the back of mostly Izayaki, but also, incredible work from Lee Jae-gon. Mostly Izayaki. Izayaki did the most here. He really did. But I also wanted to point this out because Landon did so much in this fight. Landon did so much, and it all was for naught. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know that I'll do a full review of this game, because I think the dives ones were just very cut and dry in terms of what happened there. I don't think there's that much interesting. But depending on when I've recorded this, I might have edited my Justice London one, which I actually think is much more interesting to talk about, and I might have done another one, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this.